Nothing on my hand today. Okay. All right. Y'all come up on it. Y'all come on up in here. Let's talk about it. Y'all come on up in here. We're about to get started. I'm about 14 minutes late, but I was looking at some things online. Also, looking at some of the people's who sent me some messages. I was reading those. So come on up in here. Go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that like button. And we're going to talk about legacy media, mainstream media. We can't get our news from mainstream media any longer. Just can't do it. We're going to need independent journalists that are foundational Black Americans to step out and give us the real. Because we cannot trust mainstream media. We can't. We can't. How is everybody doing this morning? Day after Veterans Day. Some didn't have to work, some did work. I work every day, you guys, so it is what it is. 7 days a week. It don't stop. Money has to be moving and money has to be coming in. Let's talk about it. All right. Y'all come on up in here. Y'all come on up in here. We're talking about why we can't trust the mainstream media. I think we know why. We got to talk about it. What's your thoughts on Tyson making Diddy? Oh, I don't know. Jesus Christ. Let me look at your profile. If you're a troll, I'm just going to get the trolls up out of here. I don't know anything about that. If it's even real or not, I don't know. Come on up in here, you guys. Let's come together real quick. When y'all come in, just get in the habit of clicking the like button. There's 20 people in here. Just go ahead and start applying pressure. Do a power tap. There's a video. Oh, I'll have to check it out, brother. I thought you was a troll at first. I have to check it out. I didn't block you though. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that's anything I'm concerned about. Mike Tyson making Diddy scream. I don't know. He probably twisted his hand, pulled his finger, made him submit. I don't know. Go ahead, Keith. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We're going to get started here, man. We're going to talk about the mainstream media. Why we can't trust it. Why we shouldn't be watching it. And I'm talking about all that, man. All the CNNs. So let me tell you something. Did you know that during election time, on YouTube, people who are covering YouTube, specifically the PBD podcast, they had over 217,000 viewers in the room at one time. He did probably just in total views, the guy did more numbers than MSNBC, CNN, Fox, all that. You know why? because people don't want to hear the news from plants. A lot of y'all are still getting y'all news from individuals who are sold out to the system and not trying to give you solutions. They're just trying to make it more complicated, make it more foggy. They're only looking for the drama. That's it. Yeah, a lot of the media is politically controlled. A lot of the media is called, I think it's called Operation Mockingbird. A lot of the media is controlled by the three-letter crew. A lot of your television in Hollywood is controlled by the three-letter crew. A lot of your SPY, your spy, you know what they are? They're musicians and entertainers as well as actors. Those are the best. You want a spy? You want the best spy in the world that can get in and out of places that nobody can get into? Make him an entertainer. I wouldn't say except Fox. I wouldn't say that. If you're listening to Fox, you're listening to another political party tell you how to think and what to do, and they're always going to make it favorable to them. You know, that's how they're able to boogeyman you. See, listen, if you want to go to WAR, right? Let me tell you how you go to WAR. You gotta start, you gotta get all the mainstream media on code saying one thing. You have to spin a narrative. That's how you go to WAR. You have to spin a narrative. And they use the media to spin a narrative that is false to get you to agree with things that are not good for you. Get you to agree with things that are not good for you. They want to spin a narrative. So if you're paying attention to mainstream media, you're really misinformed. Really misinformed. Get the likes up to 3K and I'll start letting people up on the panel. You're really misinformed. Misinformed and uninformed. I think Denzel Washington said something, if you pay attention to the media, you're misinformed. Or you're uninformed. If you believe it, you're misinformed. Something like that. Something like that. I don't remember the exact quote. Good morning, Wolfie. Good morning. I don't remember the exact quote, but something along those lines. If you're watching mainstream media, you are being psyoped in your own home. I'm not saying they don't have stories. Did y'all know they caught the news using old battle film and acting like it's brand new? Do y'all know that? Do you know that the news, right? Jumping in the show. Okay, cool. We'll be here, Wolfie. We'll be here. Did you know that that the same news that's in Ohio, the same news that's in California, the same news that's in New York, they pretty much saying exactly. Do y'all remember when they put that video out of side by side of all the news people using the same words to heighten people's attention? Do y'all know how? Do you know they can use news to 𝗥𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀 as mind control? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that certain movies that you watch can mind control you? Do you know this propaganda, this witchcraft that is going on the airwaves is controlling you? It's all programming, that's right. It's all programming. All of it. All of it. So if you know that, why are you still watching it? Some of us know better, but that don't mean we do better. I think if you know better, you should do better. I preach turn off the television. I haven't watched TV for 6 years. Or maybe a little longer than that. I detoxed from all the propaganda and witchcraft. I went through a life-altering. I went through a life-altering situation. They told me I had I didn't have long to live. They said we had to do this surgery. It's a 64% chance that you're gonna live. They did the surgery. I lived. As you see, I'm still here. And in that awakening, I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with the world. I'm done with being programmed. I'm done with being psy-hopped. I'm done with being unhealthy. I'm done. I woke up. I said, you know what? Had a little money saved up. And I said, you know what? I need to travel the world. This money is not going to do anything good for me if I pass away tomorrow. So I went walkabout. If you've been to Australia, they call it walkabout. I went walkabout. I just said, you know what? I'm going to just go to different countries, stay there for as long as I want to, and then leave when I need to. It was reality TV for you. Yeah, you got it. That stuff is garbage. That stuff is all scripted, by the way, too. There's no such thing as reality TV. No such thing. It's all scripted. Scripted. It's called scripted improv. That's all it is. Scripted improv. They give you a scenario and you improv it out. Oh, girl, I think you need to. When you get mad, I think you need to do more. Get more loud and more boisterous, and you can't let them talk to you. You know, they do all these things behind the scenes because they need drama, they need ratings, they need views. Drama is what sells. Drama is what sells. It's the drama. The news is no longer news, it's entertainment. It's fake news. You saw what they did with the polling, right? They had y'all believing that Kamala had a chance. They had y'all believing Kamala had a chance. They had y'all believing it. Y'all believed it. And then the results were she got washed. When the real results come in, you see she got washed. Shoot, they were hyping up Kamala where they thought that, hey, they made her think she had a chance. And they were all on her side. Look at how much money she brought in, $1 billion, and still couldn't win an election. A B, capital B, 1B she brought in. Look at all those softball interviews that we had to sit through and watch. Oh yeah, and she's in debt. She can't even pay her freaking bills. She gave $10 million to Beyonce. $3 million to $5 million to 𝗥𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀𝗀𝗶cie. $3.5 million to Eminem and $1 million to Oprah. I don't know why they pay Oprah so small of money. I guess she don't need the money. I don't know. And she still couldn't win, y'all. Because a lot of Americans are waking up. Sheila Houston people, she gave $4 million to another Houston art. That's the party of celebrities. And we don't, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't rock with celebs. We do not rock with celebrities. Oh no. We don't rock with celebrities. F all celebrities. I don't listen to them. I don't pay them no mind. I am not a fan. I can care less about a celebrity. Y'all can love them. I don't. I believe what Little Richard said. They're all into some freaky type perversion, and they get themselves in trouble, and then they send the handlers out to them, and then the handlers tell you, okay, we're going to get you back on track, but you got to do this. I'm not going to tell people you did this, but you got to do this for me. That's where, you know, it's a cabal, it's a mafia, it's all in the same gang. They get you. They tempt you. They tempt the weak, and they prop them up to be strong when they're really weak. That's what they do. That's what they do. It's a cabal. We don't rock with them and we don't pay attention to them. We just don't. We don't pay them no mind. We can't. They're not real. You know, all this. Did y'all see the video? I think Kanye's back in town. I think after Trump won, Kanye came back to the States. I think Kanye's back in town now. I think he was in Japan. Now Kanye's back in the States. I think it's because Trump won. Yeah, Kanye's back. But think about it, man. Think about it. Why are you still watching the mainstream media? Why are you still giving them views? Why are you still giving them looks? Anybody hear about that Black 2025, Black Project 2025? Anybody hear about that? I hear it's gaining a lot of traction on, I just found out about it today. Somebody sent me a bunch of videos of Black Project 2025. I don't know if it's a good thing, but I'll tell you this, I'm only a little weary because I have trust issues. And whenever I know that somebody's a Kamala supporter, I'm just not a fan. But it seems like it's on the up and up. I think everybody should check it out. I think everybody should do their research. But I would say be weary of anybody who rushes that quickly because they got 5,000 followers or something like that. To start a what is it? A 503c, a nonprofit, and they want to start taking in money and they haven't done anything yet. I would say research it, check it out. But you know, it could be a Democrat shield agenda type thing. That's what it seems like it is to me. It seems like it's positive though. I haven't done my research. I'm just speculating. Okay, I'm just speculating. I want you guys to make your own decision on that, on what you want to do with that. I did mention it on this platform, so please go check it out. Go check it out. Go check it out. We're almost at 3K likes. I'll start bringing people up, but check it out. But be weary. You know, there's so many groups that come out. So many groups that come out and say, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. I'm not saying we don't need these groups. I'm just saying you got to be careful, y'all. You got to inspect what you expect. Always do that. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to do my research. Yeah, the new border sauce, Tom Herring or something like that. We'll see what he can do. I think, you know, I'm sorry. I think Trump is very reasonable. Tom Homan, yeah, Homan, yeah. There you go. I think Trump is reasonable. I think you know, those who are not a Trump fan, that's on you. I'm not saying I'm a fan of Trump, but I believe he's a reasonable person, and I believe he's trying to do the right thing for this country. Did y'all hear his speech when he came out saying how he's gonna dismantle the deep state, dismantle it? Put more power in the state's hands. Come on. That's where we can dominate. That's beneficial for Black Americans, by the way. The power coming back to the state hands, all we got to do is take over the local government and the state government. That makes sense. We need Black governors, FBA governors. We need FBA mayors, right? We need FBA chief of polices, right? We need FBA superintendents, right? We need FBA people in power. We need FBA people on the Senate and the House. We need those things. Bad. Like yesterday. So that gives us a chance to make our mark. We need more media outlets that are FBA ran, FBA owned. You know, we need it. We need independent journalists to tell us the news. We need those journalists to walk away from those corporations. Walk away from those media outlets. We need independent journals that come from the grassroots specifically, that we trust. And they need to get on here and tell us what's going on in the world. They need to get out here and do some investigative reporting and find out. Because we know that Operation Mockingbird is a real thing, yo. But you see how Trump said he's going to stop all this spying on Americans, stop all them running these operations in America? You see how Trump said he's going to dismantle it all? that brother might not make it through his presidency. The way he's talking, I don't see anybody. If anybody has a problem with what he's doing and at least what he's saying for right now, I think you're the problem. Let me speak about the Department of Education. Okay, come on up. Come on up. Come on up. If you have information about the Department of Education, come on up. Yeah, I'll send them. There you go.
How many DMs I got asking where you are, saying that they miss you?
Oh man, really, man, thank you.
Yes. And I want to thank everybody who DM'd me so far, saying that y'all miss too much and you miss me. I didn't know I was loved. And I do thank y'all. It made me feel so good, you know? Those emails and everything, I appreciate it. Y'all brought my self-esteem up 100 times. But I wanted to discuss, I got about an hour to discuss, but I wanted to discuss about, hey y'all, hey Miss Grace, thank you. I wanted to discuss about Department of Education and from my opinion, from my standpoint, these are mine, and African American history. We all know that the Department of Education was run by the women of Confederacy. It's not run by the ladies of liberty. And we don't get resources, new books, education skills that other communities have that's under the Department of Education. Right now in Houston, we have someone who's running one of our biggest school districts, but taking our taxpayers' dollars and sending it to another state and city to help them out instead of helping us. When we get rid of the Department of Education, we're getting rid of all those rules and regulations that keeps us behind. We will be now responsible of our own education and the things that have been taught in our city and states. That goes along with who are re-elected in our city and states. All that goes hand in hand. So when he get rid of the Department of Education, we would no longer be indoctrinated into their system. And once again, we can come into our own system of education, because we all can look at history and see when we were segregated, we produced the most in education. And also when you look at illiteracy, say that word for me, help me out.
Illiteracy.
You can see that Black Americans is not the majority in this percentage at this time. We're not the majority. It's them. So getting rid of the Department of Education is not about us. It's about them. Just like AB is not about us. It's about them. Because their numbers is not looking like how their numbers need to look. And just like other people with our skin tone come and challenge us, they come and challenge us too. Anytime we're doing better in a department that they're not succeeding in, they have to change that department around to make sure that they are superior and we are still inferior. And that's not what these reports are showing. So that was my opinion of, I am proud that Trump is doing things that he is doing and the things that is taking place.
Listen, and everybody was like, oh, Trump is the boogeyman, and why you trust that brother? He's a racist, and all this other stuff that they've been saying, man. And I'm just trying to tell you, Trump is reasonable. That's all we need, is someone reasonable in office. Someone with common sense. Someone that you can say, you know what? If you don't give us this, this might happen. And he uses his common sense and says, well, we don't want that to happen. And, we really need to do this. That's all we need. So people say, oh, we can't get anything out of Trump, or we're going to get some tangents. We're going to stand on business. The same way any president that comes into office, we're going to hold them to what they say and what they do. And we're going to take our little consolation prizes as we go. As we keep standing on business for the main thing, we're going to take our consolation prize. And there's a lot of consolation prizes. I mean, we need this government cleaned up, y'all. We needed the swamp drain. He couldn't do it his first term, right? Because he didn't know anybody. He didn't know anybody in the government. Now he knows who's who and what's what. Now he done figured it out, and probably was never meant for him to have the second term, because he didn't have the majority in the second term. But now There's no excuse why Trump can't get done what he needs to get done. He has full control of the House and the Senate, and that's enough for him to get his executive orders cracking and get things run through the system and get it done. So it should be done quickly. It should be done quickly.
And the thing about it is, a lot of people, even when Obama was running, I was victim to that. I didn't trust Obama to be president, but I did vote for skin tone. You understand? I was one of the ones in my own community saying he's not one of us, and I would get told off. Trust me, we Black Americans stand behind skin tone. But when Trump said that he was not like us, when Obama, we all attacked Trump. That's when we start saying he's racist. The way he was trying to speak facts about Obama. Do that make sense? And then when he came out and said, when she became BLK, he been speaking facts. It's just we don't like his dialect. We don't like the things how he say things. And we dismiss it under racism when he only speaking for all Americans.
Yeah, there's a video that came out. I have it on my Facebook page. I'll try to put it on TikTok. It might even be on TikTok, where the lawyer is going after the Dems, Nancy Pelosi's, and he's like, y'all deliberately lied on January 6th, and the media chopped up so much stuff and made it look like he was inciting a riot. But when you listen to the real video footage, and they played the real video footage, Trump was speaking peace. He was speaking peace. Then the infamous "there's good on both sides," they played the whole video, and Trump was saying, well, what are we going to do about George Washington? What are we going to do about Ben Franklin? They owned slaves too. And when he said there's good on both sides, he was talking about there were peaceful protesters, people that paid to protest peaceful, and then he said, I don't care about the neo-Nazis or the white supremacists, get them up out of here. He said that. But the
thing about it is good. It's good on both sides. Let you know that it is still racist in the Democrat Party. Yeah, it is still Triple K, and we think his words are saying that these tiki torch boy.
No, you have to realize he wasn't even talking about the tiki torch.
When he said it's good on both sides, he
was talking about the people that was around there marching, with them, but they weren't. They didn't necessarily have the torch. They were just
but I was saying is some of those tiki torch people is Democrats too. That was my point.
I got you.
It's tiki torch is on both sides. That's how I took the message when he said it's good on both sides.
Yeah. So the media, that's what I'm saying, y'all. We cannot trust the media. They've been psyoping us. They've been doing this. Listen, the media's been doing this, and back then we had the newspaper. Do y'all know the newspaper has been gone? Been gone. I don't know anybody that buys the paper anymore. I don't know anybody that does that. If they do, they're buying it for the comics and maybe the potential stock market. That's it. But anybody reading the newspaper, it's gone. But back in the day, how they got us into World War I and II, and we could have just minded our business as Americans and just stayed prospering. We didn't have to get into that war. But the newspaper, the propaganda, Pearl Harbor, running operations on American soil, got us into WAR. This is what they do. Weapons, WMA. Weapons of, what I'm saying, or WMD. They make up stuff. They show you things that's going on in other countries that's like 20 years ago, and we believe it. We don't fact check the news. We expect the news to give us the truth. We expect the news to be fact checked already. And that's not true. I wanted to answer this question. I saw a question come up here. Somebody said something. Hold on. Let me scroll back up. Our country will be crippled by mass deportation. Undocumented workers contribute 123.8 billion a year. That's a lie. That's a lie. We won't be crippled. by doing a mass abortation and getting out undocumented. No, we won't. What about the millions of Americans who aren't working, who can work but don't work, who can't find a job in this economy? What about those people?
What about 59% of illegal immigrants that's on government assistance?
Come on. Why are we even doing that? Why are we even playing that game? How are they even getting these fish nuggets, these Cajun fries, these constellation prizes for showing up in America? That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy to even think that.
So if we do the math, 59% that's illegal in the United States is on government assistance. We're already sending money to the continent, to their countries, and to the islands for humanity. America is already helping where they're from. That's why Trump said, and for the person who's saying that, the people that's getting deported first already has their deportation papers filled out and ready to go. They just been in a detention cell sitting there for years. So those are the first ones that he state that's going to get deported. Then he also state, and you know this is big among our community, those LDR relationships. You know the LDRs, the ones that's over here marrying or lying about who they are to get citizenship. He also taking a look at the DACA. People are literally sending their kids to America because you can go to any public school if you're a citizen or not, and depending on how many years you fall under that DACA, which he revoked. You understand? And they've been over here, not even knowing if they're a citizen or not, not even caring about their status, living this world and thinking that they want and being anti-Black.
Let me tell you the best thing that's going to happen, right? You send all those people back, it's going to force them to figure it out in their country. It's going to
Canada said you can't come. And we all know about how y'all go over there after 𝗖cie come to your home, how you pack up your bags and go towards Canada border. They said not no more. And because Canada is at the top of the United States, you don't think they communicate with our government on how they're going to handle immigration? If our borders are open, that means their borders ain't safe either. So when they close down our borders, we follow and they leave.
Indeed, indeed. We have historically faced biased and misrepresentative narratives from legacy media. Historically, they've undermined Black people through the media. They putting out stereotypes. They putting out agendas that harmed us. They spun narratives that told lies and harmed us. They used political parties. They propped them up. When Biden called us super predators back in the 80s. Think about that. They flood our zone with drugs, methamphetamines, all that stuff, and then they call us super predators so they can lock us up. Why? Because they had all these privately run jails, privately run prisons.
Too much. Say P-R-E-D-O. Say P-R-E-D-O.
P-R-E-D-O.
Don't say that word, the other word you just said.
Okay. So they need to fill those things up. They need to fill those things up. So what do when they need to fill these PREDOs up?
You know what PREDO mean, right?
Huh?
You know what PREDO?
No, what does that mean? Type it to me or something. I don't know. I don't know if I said anything wrong. I don't know. I think I know. I think I know what it means now. Okay.
When you
Yeah.
said we was they tried to make us to be the
Super PR, yeah, PRE.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So
I'm trying
yeah,
to keep us here.
yeah. Let's keep us here. Let's keep us here. Let's keep us here because I don't want to. I'm tired of them taking us down. I'm tired of them taking us down. But that's what they do. They spin a narrative. They spin a narrative, and then we fall victim to that narrative that they spin. It was them who told the YT people in the beginning when media first got popular, when the news first got popular, when they made all these movies, right, making us out to be grapists, and we want to harm YT people, made us out to be, oh, you got to watch out for the black people. You got to watch out for them. They're danger. They're the reason why we have these stereotypes. They feed us
That fear has been within the community, or that fear has been within the YT community since 1867. Okay? That's not going nowhere. That is the nature of what this joint is. They have always looked to attack us. They've used these other subgroups of people to be a bumper class ahead of us. Again, Dr. Anderson has said,
birth of a nation.
if we didn't get squat while we were second, they trying to move us down to 4. What you think we go get then? Now, yes, ma'am. First off, hi panel. How's everybody today? I know I jumped in like that, so my apologies.
But I want to take it back. It's been before 67 or 87.
1867.
You remember the YT women did find our men attractive, and they was birthing free color babies. You remember?
Oh yes, of course they were.
That's when they said, "Oh no."
Jr., right? Yeah, I remember what happened to Sammy Davis Jr., right?
I remember him being a good old Sambo, but at the same time helping us.
He was messing with an American white woman, and they got him up. They threatened his life. They got him up out of there to where he started messing with foreign YT women now. And they still.
But the same with the boxer. The same with the boxer. Yeah. He had to move out the United States of America, and his wife, because they got him for trafficking because he married
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson, the man that they use the same thing they're using on Diddy right now. They did
the same. You better let these people know.
So I'm just saying, man. Listen, this legacy media portrays Black Americans through stereotypical bias and sensationalized narratives. They highlight only the negative stories over the positive achievements. They're the ones that divide and conquer us by saying poor whites are better than Black Americans, giving them a leg up, right? Because they couldn't own us. They had to give these poor whites a leg up so they don't join with us. They don't want anybody. They don't want Black Americans to have any allies. They do not want us to have any allies. They want to always cause dissension. And they know the Negro that they can use to become Sambos, right? They know the ones they can use to come to mess things up. You ever been somewhere and it's peaceful, and then all of a sudden a fight just break out of nowhere, and you're like, who let these niggas in? It's called a plan. A lot of that crime in Chi-Town, in Chicago, police. It's not even who you think it is. Chicago's not even the most dangerous city. I think someone said it was Detroit. But they always use Chicago as a narrative because there's so many unsolved crimes over there. And a lot of that's done by police. It's propaganda that we all fall for. It's propaganda. That's why you cannot believe the news, because they're going to just lie to you. They're never going to tell you the truth. All these fake, they own people, the people that do the autopsy, they just pay them a little bit of money and they're going to spin a narrative. I think anybody Black, if someone passes away in your family, you pay for the autopsy and you pay to figure out what actually happened. Don't believe what they tell you. I don't care how they passed away. Don't believe what they tell you. You find out. You find someone. We need foundational Black Americans doing those autopsies, especially if it's on us. What we really need is we need people to stand on business that's not moved by this.
And speaking of standing on business and not being moved by this, I want to once again bring the family's attention to the new Black media. Professor Black Truth, The Black Authority, Torian Rain, Afro Elite, Vicky Dillard. These brothers and sisters are out here standing on business for the FBA family. Do not forget to tune into him at 8 o'clock every morning. He has his moment of truth so you can start your days. I'll stop there and let you get on.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah. We cannot trust mainstream media, y'all. We just can't. It's the best thing I ever did for my life was detox from the television and news media outlets. The best thing I ever did. And let me tell you, once you really can make a commitment to do it, you don't even miss it. There's so many other productive things that you can get done than just sitting on the couch, watching your favorite show, becoming propagandized by these people. Yeah, like I said, we got to look into that Project Black 2025. It seems like I'm gonna be honest. It seems like a Democratic shield is running it. That's what it seems like, because anytime people rise up so quickly, right? You got to be careful. Like, who's funding them? What messaging? But it seems like it's positive. I'm not gonna put it down. It seems like it's positive messaging so far. I'm gonna go on Instagram and I'm gonna check it out, see what it's about. It's almost like a thing, and yeah, they say black. They just they make it like everybody's black. If it's not FBA, we can't really trust it. That's another thing. When I'm listening to messaging, she kept saying black, 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 and I'm like, yeah, I'm black. I get it, but other people still think they're black. Hold on, man. Your mic is hot, cousin.
No.
They still think they're black, and tethers. It's just the messaging and the wording is so easy for tethers. I mean, I bet you a lot of those doctors and nurses are tethers. I bet you money, and lawyers they got in that group that they claim they have. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. It just seems kind of tetherish and kind of Democratic shieldish, if that makes sense. It seems kind of Democratic shieldish. So
I would say let's look at first Project 2025 itself. That did not come from the known political structure within the U.S. government. It came from the irregular forces of 𝗤𝗔 supremacy and was funneled up into the political forces through their religious indoctrination. But the point being with that is it came from the Heritage Foundation or the think tank. The think tank put it together. They got the plan together. So this idea of suddenly popping up with something, I'm sorry, it's going to require more than that in order to get significant backing.
And cousin, plus Trump has said on several occasions, and we can all look this up, he is not for Project 2025. That is the propaganda that they use to try to put a fearmongers around us.
You all know I'm not necessarily a Trump supporter or a Trump fan.
I'm not either, but I read on Project 2025. I seen when it was created. But the thing about it is, what was Harrod's Project 2025? All they keep on doing is changing the year, but it's the same project that's been around for over 30 years.
Well, they've been practicing benign neglect on the black community since the Civil Rights Act. Okay? They are literally waiting for us to die on the vine. Unfortunately for them, they keep finding out we ain't going nowhere. We're too sturdy to just drop and go. You give us crap, we're going to turn it into gold. You give us some garbage, we go have some hot stuff out of this. Because that is what we do, and that is how we are by nature and design. We are overcomers. We've always been overcomers. They have never been overcomers. They have only been violent towards those who have chosen non-violence as a normal way of life.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And you know, I'm reading a comment here. Kamala had vague BS for FBAs, but had herself entitled for illegals. Yeah, and you know, here's the thing. Think about this. Think about who they're wagging their finger at. Think about who the Dems wag their finger at of the loss. If you guys see, I'm sure you guys seen a lot of them crashing out. A lot of them were crashing out. I'm sure y'all seen that. But they didn't wag their finger at the many Hispanics that didn't support them. They didn't wag their finger at them. They didn't wag their finger at the many Hispanic men that didn't support them. They wagged their finger at the Black American men. They wagged their finger at the Black community. When they addressed the Black man, they addressed the Black man as a singular, independent person. When they address the Hispanic man, they address the Hispanic man and his family. See the little slights that they do to us that they don't even think we pay attention to.
And a lot of us don't pay attention to it. And a lot of us don't. Because when they was addressing the Black man, and a lot of us have Black fathers, we all should have been offended. We all should have took notice. Why are they addressing the minority class, you know? Why they keep on addressing Black men? Those are the men that we love, especially if your husband is not Black, your children are not Black, and you come from a history of owning Black people. Why are you addressing, and why is Donald Trump defending? We never paid attention to that propaganda, and we all should have. You know, I'm not Democrat or Republican. I wish everybody would get into a third party.
Yeah, right now I think we need to flock to the independent party until we get our other party up and running, until we really start to make that move and put some money into it. You know, and y'all see my T-shirt, right? Y'all see what that says?
Black. I can't. It's backwards. I'm trying. I can't.
Blackout
Okay.
week. Blackout week. We need to do another blackout. What is blackout week?
Oh, Blackout Week. That's good.
Yeah, you know what blackout week is? It always starts during Black Friday. While y'all run into these stores to spend money, Gucci, Prada, with these name brand stores, these YT-owned companies, y'all need to exercise some discipline and black it out.
And know that a sister was behind the blackout, and she ran for president. Do you understand? Falana. She changed her name to Falana, a West African, but she's a FBA. She believe in holding our money. And if we hold our money for a day or a week or even a month and only start buying from free men, FBA, ADOS, people who history was enslaved over here. The way that we will make economy for our people better and great again.
The trick bag, I want y'all to understand what the trick bag is going to be. When they say Black businesses, you're going to see many Black businesses being propped up, meaning they're owned by YT or they're partially owned by YT or they're immigrant Black. Do not fall for the Black. Not right now. Because we
look for the FBA symbol.
For the FBA. If anything, we probably need to put our flag. We probably need to put our flag as the symbol. Maybe the FBA flag that we have. Maybe that needs to be.
They using our flag too.
Oh,
I seen it on the live yesterday where they had up our African American, Black American heritage flag. To them, that's new. You know. And the thing about it, it is okay to ask questions because they always bring up the fact that when the cops stop them, you remember we used to tell them that. So they started telling us this. When the cops stop you, they only see black. If the cops stop you, they're not confusing you as who you are. They confuse you as a black American. When they ask for your driver's license, just like my driver's license state my place of employment, it also states my last name. When you decide to make up your last name when you came here, you made sure it was close to your identity from your continent. We don't have the same served last names. So when the officer stop and he see your last name is not American, he already know.
Leave you alone.
He already know. Either to go forward because they really don't care, they don't like black skin, or to treat you as such, a black person in America.
Facts. What we're not doing is we're not going to be second class citizens anymore in our own country. We're not doing that. We're not going to get treated like that. We eventually we're going to have things in place to where they can't do that to us, and we can't. And here's the thing: I know as empathetic as our heart is, we can't afford to care about what happens to them. We can only afford to care about what happens to us. I remember when Farrakhan was preaching that, I want to help everybody, but I got to help my people first. And we really didn't understand, and we really didn't get it. He says, I feel for everybody. I'm empathetic for everybody, but if it ain't within the NOI organization, I can't just move for everything. We have to have that same mindset. We
have to get selfish about ourselves.
Yeah.
Again, the idea, yes, we have great empathy for others and those in pain, the downtrodden, the hurt, just those who have been put upon. Yes, we feel everything for you. That doesn't mean you get to jump in line in front of us, though.
Have y'all noticed the language has changed since Trump became president? Have you noticed that? The way they address us now has changed.
They're calling us black now. You know that?
Even with the xenophobic, they're watching it. But I want my people to know you always had the power to report. You always had the power to call immigration. You always had the power. You don't have to know their status. Immigration have a whole department to investigate. They get paid to investigate.
They do.
And the one fast way to get your status revoked, meaning they gave you the green card, But we all have to realize it takes over 5 years to get it, and they trying to make it longer. And a lot of kids don't know their status. But one way, and these are the kids who is anti-Black American, one way to get their status revoked is to be anti-American, to be racist, to be a xenophobic. You report them. I don't care if the little information is their username, their VPN. Put them in a data place. America have to investigate. They either gonna find your statement to be true or untruthful. They're looking for facts.
Y'all know Wolfie believe in reporting, y'all. She gonna document and report y'all and get y'all up out of here. Y'all better watch out. All those in Houston area, y'all better watch out. If y'all doing, Wolfie gonna report y'all. I agree.
You better not jaywalk in front of her.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But don't be a tether around Wolfie. She gonna get you
around any FBA.
She gonna get you about to pay.
And I always tell you I'm gonna report you just to see if you think I'm telling the truth or not. That's for anyone. I always be like, I'm gonna report you, right?
She said, I'm gonna use this tax money that I've been paying into.
Exactly. That our ancestors paid into, that we fought for. We fought against this discrimination on the job.
Black people, they love to be like, I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna report you. We pay taxes. They up on that. And you know what? We gotta start.
And we don't do it. Yeah, and we don't. We'll go back and forth with you all day online.
Yeah, because we got pride. It's all this, these
we don't trust the government.
Yeah, We
Hey, I
I'm
don't.
just want to
telling you,
drop
you don't
a
have to
message and
just
leave
trust
out,
them.
man.
Report them. Report to them. You don't have to
Follow
just
your family tree up to your land.
Who is this?
That's true. He said, do your family tree up to your land.
Oh,
That's
do you?
all.
Okay, he got the. I didn't kick him out, so he got up in here and got up out of there after you said that.
He
Right?
just want us to know to do our family tree, trash me. But I want y'all to know a lot of history on our side will come back circle, you know, because of the enslavement. But it will always come back to American grounds.
Okay.
I was in, I was in a live the other day, and they was talking about Liberia, right?
Okay.
And we know some of the Liberians did a Una reverse, right? But some who did the Una reverse and came back to the USA do not have the history or the bloodline. But in their minds, the ones that don't have the bloodline, they feel like they are American, you know? However, your history do not trace back here, and no, and I was explained by FBA, you are not entitled to reparation because you decided to go to Liberia and start over instead of staying in America, experiencing Jim Crow and fighting for those rights.
All right. They skipped that. They skipped that. They skipped that. And I don't, like I said, I'm not knocking them. I just think we know not to trust the government. Whenever the government says we got this land for you, we got to be. Look at what they did to the Indians. They said, "Oh, we got this land for you," and they put them on these reservations. That wasn't good for them. That was good for the
You just
government.
got to walk 500 miles to get there
Yeah,
under gunfire.
yeah, yeah. It's insane. It's insane, man. That's why I'm saying listen. We gotta build up the grassroots media. We have to. We have to focus on building up the grassroots media. We got to focus on getting people out there that we trust to tell us the truth and give us what's actually going on. We need boots on the ground type of information. We need independent journalists. We need independent journalists to go out there that are from the grassroots media and give us that we need. We have to find a listen. We have to find a way to support our people who are doing the work. Whether it's $5, whether it's $10, whether it's $2, whatever you can give, you gotta. We can't expect these platforms to support us. We can't expect other groups to support us. We have to support our own. One of the things I liked about visiting, I went to a Haitian church, and one of the things I like about that Haitian church is you don't see any Mexican or Hispanic doing anything like mowing the lawn or upkeeping the church. The church members upkept the church. When somebody passed away in that community, everybody in the church showed up and everybody helped in, whether they paid money or they did all the cooking and the food. I mean, you're talking about feeding thousands on thousands and thousands of people. When somebody got married at that church, everybody in the church and in that community came out for that marriage. We got to be strong and tight like that, y'all. We gotta stop giving our love to outsiders and start giving our love to our people ourselves. That's what we gotta do. That's really what needs to be done. We cannot afford to be hating on each other. We can't afford to have hate in our hearts for one another and love them. We can't afford to love the oppressor and hate ourselves. We can't do that. We got to get out of that. We got to heal from that. I get it. We all got family members we don't get along with. I'm one of them. I got, man, you talking about the black sheep? I am the black sheep of the black sheep. Okay? I stand 10 toes down on my own everywhere I go. There's no family that I can call or run to. I got friends. Thank God the Lord sent me friends. But there's no family member I can call on. Nothing. The deep hate and jealousy of growing up together, the trauma that we experienced growing up together, which should have brought us closer, we allowed it to bring us apart. The strong disrespect of one another. Strong disrespect. We got the most smoke sometimes for our own people. And we let other people skate and fly. I just had an incident where one of my closest buddies I went to high school with, turned on me. Why? What? Only to find out it's jealousy. It's envy. Like what what you jealous for, dog?
The only thing I think I can say, and I'm not trying to protect nobody, but just as a view from a position, I think there's the animosity we have within our family. It is so strong and it is so deep because the love you had and have for that individual was equal to that hate. You loved them with everything you had inside of you. And now you almost feel the same way, but in the opposite direction. My point being, what you got from that person or what that person gave you, that's how much you're giving back. If you had great love for them, now you go give them great hate. If you thought they was all right, well, now they barely, you can barely speak to them. Okay? It's along those lines. But it's just an observation that I look at when it comes to people. Because the only people that I found that can only really and truly hurt you are the people that are in your circle.
That's true.
Those are the only ones that can hurt you.
That's true. And
they got in that circle because you trusted them and you invested your emotional connection with them. And that's what hurts. And that's why I say you go from one side to the other.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm way over across in another continent. I'm in Africa. My dad passes away. They rush the funeral. They plunder the resources and the inheritance. And I get a lump of clothes. That's my plot. You see, it's like, where does this hate come from? Why would y'all keep me from my dad? Why would y'all do that?
Damn.
Exactly. I'm standing. I'm like, man, I can never talk to them again after they did that. It's like when a patriarch or a matriarch dies, everybody rushes to see what's mine and take. And I'm the second oldest son. I have an older sister that just took control of everything and decided to run the show for everything and decided to ostracize me. And all my sisters got what they needed to get.
Of course.
It's crazy. It's crazy how
my older sister did that too.
Yeah, it's like, where did that jealousy come from? It's like, we grew up together. What you thought I was going to do? What do you think I was going to do way over on another continent? I'm trying to make it home. So I'm just like, man, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
I guess I'll try and take a big picture look at this. A lot of cats have immediate needs in front of their face and faces. And, well, quite honestly, when the lottery come and you got this need that's right there,
man, listen.
I don't agree with it, bro. Don't be mistaken. I do not agree with it. I'm just saying that the necessity of people, human nature, and what they go do in that moment. If you got pressure on your left side and something come through on your right, you go ease that pressure off you.
No. I trust me. I understand that. I went through that recently. I understand that. I totally understand that. And I'm not against that. But I'm against. We got to have proper protocol, man. My dad was very sick, and he got sick. More sick under living. My sister, I should have grabbed my dad and said, "Come stay with me." My sister said, "No, my dad's gonna stay with her." And I should have known. He actually passed away under her watch. She left him with my little nephew. My dad got up and fell and landed on his head and hit his head. And instead of rushing him to the hospital, they put him back in the bed, and he had a blood clot or something like that.
Yeah,
And
aneurysm more than likely.
he hit his head, and he had internal bleeding.
Yeah.
And
You're not
when
supposed to lay back down after that.
he wasn't she left him on the watch of my little nephew.
One thing we need to do is, I know I talk about it, and I mean, a lot of people don't know exactly my job title, but a
Right,
lot
he
of
didn't
people,
wake up. He didn't wake up.
we need to start talking about resources, how to get them, and how to apply for them, and do you qualify, and how to keep your property inside your family while getting these resources. Because remember, some of these resources, we have multi-millionaires on these resources. And I live in Texas, and Texas do protect people money. It's called undue hardship. And there's ways to do it. Most people get
Happened in
lawyers.
Houston. My
That's in
dad.
Texas.
It happened.
Most people get lawyers, but you actually have somebody that know Texas policy, Texas rules, the services on that's been doing it for over 20 years, and that's me. So if y'all have any questions about in-home care, nursing home care, Medicaid, Medicare, Texas policy, because it's state to state. That's why it's so important to start voting in your state elections. Because my state do not accept federal funding for certain things, a lot of things. You understand? The federal just oversee us and do our audit. So if you want to know about these programs, and especially for your children and your elderly, that's who I love the most, babies and old people, ask me questions. I have no problem in answering for you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. This happened in Houston. My dad is buried in whatever the place they bury soldiers out there, military. That wherever they bury him at, that's where my dad's buried at. And I'm from California. My family moved to Houston, or my dad and my sister moved to Houston. Well, my sister moved to Houston first, and then she went back and grabbed my dad. My dad almost passed away one other time. And this is how I know my family is it's like they don't care. They just don't care. My ex-wife saved my dad's life because she was at the hospital with him while I was away on business in Ohio. She actually went there and sat with him on a regular basis and saw him pass out in front of her while and then the family ostracized her, wouldn't even hang out with her. They she kind of just flew in, showed up, and then took everybody else out to eat and left my ex-wife there. My ex-wife, when he was not responding, had his tongue hanging out. They had to shock him back to life. She's the one that ran and got the doctor because he wasn't able to push the button because she was actually there watching TV with him.
And that's another resources that we need to start offering each other. When your parents or your children, and because we all know that we're working class. I had a sister who passed away from lupus. Right before she passed away from lupus, she had a 𝗔𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀 heart surgery. That's what it's called.
Okay.
And it is important. I used to work for the state and the county at this time. I had 2 full-time jobs. And I used to spend my free time sleeping in that hospital. We had to take shifts. One resources I want us to start helping each other is if your family member is going into the hospital and you cannot be there due to your work schedule or livelihood, that someone can go set in place for you. It is important that someone is there while your people is there getting care. The medical system was never made for us. It was made to work against us. So if I'm stepping in for friends, family, anyone. If you need that service done in your city or state, or someone in childcare, you need to ask. We need to start being a community again. Be nosy again. Miss Johnson's in the hospital. I'm going up there. I don't care if Miss Johnson don't like me. I'm gonna go sit up there because I want Miss Johnson to live and get the best services that she can get.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ain't being
And I
nosy,
have
by
to
the way.
go. I'm gonna drop down. Oh, you want me to stay on the panel? But if my phone on mute, please mute it. Did that make sense, cousin? You got my back?
Yes, I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll see what I can do. You know, I'm still learning this thing. So,
You click my box and it's gonna be 3 dots. It's, because I'm listening, it's gonna be 3 dots. And if I go on mute and you start hearing me talk, just mute me back up.
okay.
Hold on.
I got you. I'll make sure we get it right. We get it right. But yeah, man, back to the mainstream media. Why we can't trust them. We need grassroots media platforms that are built and led by members of the FBA community. These platforms provide a space for independent journalism, community storytelling, and social activism. Grassroots media can mobilize quickly, spreading information and raising awareness on issues that affect us. Look at what we did in this election, y'all. This should be, this was a grassroots thing.
Let's take pride in it. Stand tall, FBA. You told the Democrat Party, if you ain't gonna do what we say, you ain't getting what you want. You go hear us or you go fear us. Or, I'm sorry, and you go fear us.
I am so proud of that 15 million. I am so proud of the men that went over to the Republican Party because it's
I ain't going that far. I will accept
it sent
going
out
to
a
the
message.
independents.
No, it sent out a message. I'm not talking about who actually voted. I'm talking about the message that was sent out to America. Do you know how they finna go after those 15 million? Because those 15 millions makes a difference in the next election. Democrats
Exactly.
actually lost 15 million, right? Actually lost. Republicans only gained a few. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna go after what do we need to do for you? What do we need? What kind of resources? Because we can link, and then remember it's other Americans that did not vote at all. So and it's us. What are we gonna
See,
do to get those people to vote for
I've
us?
said it before. We've always been the deciding factor
Ooh, I love
for
y'all.
who gets the presidency. Every time. It is without fail the black community.
And a lot of the black community in the swing states, that's where we showed up really amazing. The black people in the swing states showed up. Some of them didn't. Some of them voted for Trump. And
Well, the media wants to portray it as this group didn't do this group didn't do this group. Those groups don't have the numbers that we have to sway an election. Only we have those numbers.
Yes,
and if we've just been giving it away for nothing. I despise this, but then again, they've taken the approach of telling us, here's what you're going to get, and we know that they've given us nothing, but you give us your vote, so when we get in office next time, we can give you some more of this. Until I am gifted from the left or the right, this experiment is in a precarious position as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, indeed. And we got to keep this. We got to keep the foot on their neck. We can't let up. We have to. When we're talking, I'm gonna meet y'all real quick, Gracie. Just not hot. There we go. Let me unmute you because I thought you muted yourself. There we go. Okay, 57 seconds, and it'll unmute back. Sorry. So community control and ownership is what we need to seek. If we don't control it, we don't own it. If we don't own it, we don't control it. You see that? That's why the grassroots media is so powerful, because outsiders don't control it. We control it. We control it. And then we have a quicker response time than they can ever have. because it's coming from us and we're tuned into the grassroots media, we can respond much quicker. And listen, not everybody is not, the grassroots is just for us. So other communities don't know what we're doing. We can move in silence. We can be loud on these grassroots media platforms that nobody's paying attention to, and we can call shots and make moves. Now, does that mean that they're not going to start? Of course they are. Does that mean that there aren't people already following this that are outside? Of course they are. But we can't worry about that. That's a small few, but we got to get the group, the lineage on point to where we just call a shot and we move. And we can trust the grassroots media because it's us. It's 100% us. There's no propaganda. There's no agenda. The only agenda is we got to get our lineage back on point. The only agenda is we got to support black-owned businesses. The only agenda is we got to protect our kids and we got to build stronger families. That benefits
The agenda is getting on code.
Getting on code. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. 100% on code, and we're making the steps now to get on code. But I just want to go back to that Black 2025 agenda. I want y'all to just use common sense. Inspect what you expect. Don't get wrapped up in vague terminology. That's why we put the FBA on it, the Foundational Black American on it. We don't just say Black American, even though we know they're not black. We are. But I want you to understand that we don't have any allies. So when you see Democratic Shield start stuff, or you think it's a Democratic Shield, I'm saying investigate it first. I don't want us to get wrapped up in something that we find out later and we start putting money, and be very wary of, and listen, how many people know what to do with money? And we just want to be so quickly to give them some money. You see, that's why I'm like, don't do it. Wait till we get something wait till you guys can see something tangible first that we're actually pointing at, then we'll do it. But not very many people know what to do with money. You just don't put money in anybody's hand. I mean, cousin just told you a story. People got to pay their light bill. What do you think they're gonna use when they got to pay their light bill? People got to pay their rent. What do you think they're gonna use when they got to pay their rent? Shoot, they might need a new car. What do you think they're gonna use when they gotta buy? You see what I'm saying? If it's not fully transparent, you have a right to be like, I'm not with it. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all just got to be mindful out there. Trust me, there's going to be more groups, more black groups, more black, I tell people, don't recruit me to a group. I don't want to be part of your group. I'm 100% standing on lineage business. If it's not about the lineage, I don't want to join your group. I don't want to join your group. But if it's about FBA, I can be a part of that because that's for my lineage. With your group, you're going to have a leader. And you're going to have these people that's above me, and they're going to try to tell me what I need to be doing, and I don't want that. I don't want that. Not at all. Not at all. I'm not being part of no ADOS or nothing like that. I'm a part of my lineage. And whatever I do for my lineage, I do for my lineage. And that's it. So don't recruit me to no group. I don't want to be a part of no group. The only group I want to be a part of maybe is the think tank. When we get the think tank cracking. But that think tank is going to be based around our lineage. What's going down for the lineage? Not for black people in general, not for melanated people in general, but what's going down for my lineage. That's all I'm concerned about. I don't want to know about who's the president and what nonprofit y'all started up, and we need to. That's going to come, but until it comes from the grassroots, and if I don't know you, I'm definitely I'm always going to be a little leery. I'm not a fan. I'm just not. So we need to highlight platforms like social media influencers, independent journalists, podcasts, community-led publication that have successfully shaped narrative and influenced change for the FBA community. That's what we need to get behind. We need to find out who our influencers are, who are standing on business, what social media platforms is friendly towards our messaging, what journalists and what podcasters are out there that are giving us the truth that's not under propaganda or media or mainstream media. Those are the people we got to back. Those are the people we got to get behind. Those are the things we got to do. We have no allies, y'all. We're always by ourselves. So we just got to get used to it. We got to get used to it. We don't have allies. We are all we got. So we got to come together and we got to get on code. We got to come together and we got to get on code. Go ahead, Grace. Unmute your mic, Grace.
Yes. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
I just wanted to say some things, and you're right. We need to be on code, and I think a lot of our problem is that we don't believe that we have a right to stand our ground as far as FBA. I feel like, anytime that we start talking about standing up just for ourselves and making sure that we're okay before we start extending our hand, I feel like a lot of people be like, well, what about those people? What about those people and that, this, that, and the third? And my thing is we have to stand our ground for ourselves. It's okay to, have empathy, but you got to take care of yourself first. That's like you trying to take care of your health, and then all of a sudden you stop doing everything for your health, and then turn around and help everybody else until you're drained and have no more. And I see that, that we're supposed to be a unity. Yes, we need to, but we got to get in ourselves first, because the enemy is within. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, I don't know, how can I explain that? The goodness of Black people, I feel like, has wavered to the other side of saying, oh, well, that's okay. Well, that is just what it is. And it's not. We have to take care of our family and build our grassroots, because we can't do nothing. Our grass is brown while everybody else's grass is green, and then now we don't have no resources for ourselves. And I feel like that's where we get mixed up at as a community of Black people. So that's my little input to that.
Sister, I would just say, while I understand it's difficult with the wave that we come against, but I can only say it in I guess, superhero terms, okay? So forgive me. Whoever you are, you gonna have to be like, the trident that he used. When you put that bitch in the ground, I don't care how big that wave is that come against you, that wave is gonna stop, because the power that you speak with cannot be overcome. I don't care how much force they come with, but that also means when you discuss things with them, bring some facts to the table that they can't refute. When they shoot that clay pigeon in the sky, do what they do to clay pigeons. Pull! And it don't get far. They ain't letting that thing get far in there before they blow it out, before it's, dealt with. Right. As soon as you let it out your mouth, pull!
That's right.
But you got to be able to hit them with the good stuff. Don't hit them with, the minority people of color, yada, yada. You got to hit them with FBA facts. And FBA facts are the facts that none of them can refute.
Like our consumer power.
Well,
like
that's a side issue right now. I mean, I'm not going to knock that, but I don't necessarily, if we're not using that consumer power in our best interest, then that consumer power isn't really power.
That's why
Yes, it's purchasing power. Yes, it is that. I concede that. But if we're not using it for our own self-interest, that almost $2 trillion means nothing. Because it's going to others.
That's where we need to start. We need to put our money where our mouth is.
Y'all see my shirt. Blackout week. We're gonna do a blackout week, y'all.
We must.
We always every year.
We must.
They only respond to money.
Cyber Monday. I'm talking Black Friday. We gotta do a blackout week. It's coming. It's coming. Are you ready? Are you ready to only buy black on those days?
Yes. Yes.
Are you ready for it? Are you ready to drive miles to the black-owned grocery store to get your
Yes.
Well, fortunately, a lot of stuff is online. Even though I like to go touch, that's me. So I would make a day of it, a weekend of it. Quite frankly, yes.
I'm not saying not to get your stuff, not to get your discounts, but make sure it's black-owned. That's all I'm saying. Make sure it's FBA.
And please don't go in asking for a discount.
Owned. Make sure you do your due diligence and your research, and make sure it's FBA owned. Don't fall, like I said, they got the Blackout 2020 or the Black Agenda 2025 going on Instagram right now. I think it's Democrat. I think it's been co-opted already. They're using the term black too loosely to where anybody can join in. I'm thinking a lot of those doctors are not FBA. They're probably Boule and. I'm just saying, I don't want to down it. I don't want to down it.
Let's see if it is.
I want to investigate. I want to inspect what we expect. They're talking about
yeah.
They just got 5,000 members, and they talking about a nonprofit. They already talk about taking in money, and I'm just a little weary when they start doing that.
They're coming out the gate well funded.
They sign up for the email because there's supposed to be a Zoom. But I haven't got any information. I didn't get a automated message back regarding that Zoom.
See, that's like Black Pack.
And they're trying. It seems like they're scrambling to put something together because they got all these eyeballs. It seems like they're scrambling to put things together.
I mean, that's the time to do it when eyes are on you. But yeah, everyone does have to do. That's what I'm hoping, that it is a mechanized thing that's going on. But as FBA, I want us to do the same thing, actually. And if it turns out legit, we can mechanize together, because that would be big.
I'm not into reinventing the wheel, but I'm into inspecting what we expect. We got to do our thing. Let's not fall.
We must, because we've been hoodwinked before. So
let's not throw money. I mean, let's not throw money at the wall and see what stick, y'all. Let's not do that.
No, we already done that. We've been there, done that already.
Too many times.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to be so blind.
The Black Agenda 2025 is there to combat the Project 2025. I get it. It makes sense.
It sounds legit. Like I said,
I'm gonna say it again. If you can't get political backing
to investigate, so there you go.
If they can't, again, that came in because of Project 2025 came in because of the back door that they had used to get in.
Yeah.
Black Project 2025, there is no back door that they go sneak. You understand what I'm saying? There is no back door that Project 2025 is coming in. That's not going to happen. There's no way. I'm not going to say no way. A politician who would come with that would come from us. And since that politician isn't in there, they're not going to do it.
Right.
But I get it. And my other suspicion is that this particular thing is coming out well funded right off the top.
Well, she was talking that they're not. They're trying to crowdfund now.
They're not well funded.
But that was the PCA. But like I said, I responded and didn't receive any info back. Which you would think they would immediately, like one of those auto emails saying, "This is the Zoom date." Yada yada.
She probably didn't. If that's the case, then she probably didn't even set it up like that. She didn't know. It was just a thought.
Anything we do needs to be well organized.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anything we do needs to be if it's not well organized, don't jump in it until it gets organized. Don't get involved. If she doesn't have the infrastructure together yet, then you go back.
No, I didn't receive any info
Don't
back.
jump and start trying to take money, and you don't got infrastructure in place. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Look,
That's
too
what
much. Look what I found out yesterday.
What you find out?
Look, I found out yesterday. Y'all heard? I don't like Cynthia. I won't see none of her movies. Cynthia Evo. I heard what she said about Black Americans, but she keep on cosplaying as a to earn a living. I read the tweets and everything. But when she went in for one of Brad Pitt movies, he wanted a foundational Black American to play the role.
Yeah.
He asked her, was she a foundation Black American? And she lied and said she was. Later he found out, and he spoke on. Later he found out that she wasn't. Is people? And she's not the only one. Is what's his name? Whatever his name is.
Idris Elba.
He did the same thing. If you look at it, they're literally
Everybody
taking money
knows
out of
he's
our
British.
they Nigerian British. But if you look
Yeah.
at it, they literally taking money out of our community to fund their community. And they got a
Well,
Hollywood.
I like Idris because he voices that he don't want nothing but black women, and he proves it on a
No,
regular
he's
basis.
saying that he's not black. And
Right.
then he's
No, he
taking
only
his money
deals with
and
and
he's
marries
building
black
a
women.
acting school in Ghana. He's
No,
not
while
taking
I
his
understand
money and
what you mean,
investing.
sister, the man did say that I don't want to be referred to as black no more.
And he just don't want black
I don't know
roles.
about that, but I know he don't consort
But
personally.
he's taking his money and he's
Well, that's
taking
what I
it
want
back
us to do.
at the cosplay.
I
But no,
want us to
here's
take
what
our
I'm
money and
saying.
put it in our community.
I know
Yeah.
you think I'm talking about just an act. I'm talking about currency. He cosplay as Black Americans. And then he take the funds he made cosplaying as Black Americans and not putting it in the Black American community, but taking it and developing Ghana.
Well, I personally don't think he cosplays. Like he's,
He stated
when
that
he's
he
in his personal
cosplay.
time, he's talking with his real accent. And
I'm
if
talking
you
about
don't,
going on
if
job
people don't know
interviews.
he's
Can
not
you go on a
FBA, they
job
got,
interview and not be Black American?
huh?
Can you go on a job interview and act like any other race?
No, I sure can't.
Then why is it's okay for them to go on a job interview impersonating us to get the
I,
job?
I see. That's what I think they do. I look at Hollywood as a fictitious
I
atmosphere
gotta go, y'all.
personally,
All right.
and I choose not to include them in my everyday psyche because I think mostly once they hit it big, they're kind of weird. And then we always end up finding all these weird things out about them. I look at them as non-realistic. They're not the fabric of our communities, if you will. They're like a fantasy. They get to pretend to be this, that, and the third.
But
We don't get to do
unfortunately,
that. I don't feel a
unfortunately,
personal.
they get to be portrayed.
Yeah, I
as
don't
the
consider them a
typical-
personal vendetta
No,
because it's
but it's not-
unrealistic.
Let me ask y'all
But
something.
see,
real quick.
that's from you from inside. But
Should
from
I,
outside, they are viewed and portrayed as atypical.
Should I
But
restart the line?
but
you
we
guys?
know
I think
better,
I'm
and that's our goal: is that we teach people to know better who we are. So that's why I view them as sort of a non-factor. Like, it's so easy for me not to support you. I won't go pay to see your movies. I won't click on it in Netflix. Like, it's so easy for us to disenfranchise them, which that's what makes them not part of our fabric. Like, they don't write checks to our community centers. You know what I'm saying? We don't own them any damn way. But you get what I'm saying? I'm looking at business. I'm interested in business owners, community activists, Black political people, if they down for us. Like, I'm looking at the more real side of us. It's hard for me to digest Hollywood because it's Hollywood. Like, whatever. They're a non-factor to me. And remember,
They
always
they
claim
never
that
leave their
Hollywood is
bubble. They
liberal.
do live in a protected bubble, baby. They do
That's
live
what
in
I'm
an
saying.
absolute
Like,
protected bubble.
I consider them outsiders because they only step up to the plate to say something when it's something big and all the cameras are there. Yeah, that. Yeah. And so I look at them as,
They're tools, baby. They're a tool. They are a tool.
Absolutely.
But
So
they have no
we
influence.
never even remotely consider using them as promoting us, supporting us, because we're like, you probably a weirdo by now any damn way, you know.
But sisters,
and then
you are a
they got all these
person of
people protecting their
intellectual thought.
backgrounds where they
When
really
you
come
have a
from.
whole bunch of these ninjas out here who do not have your level of intellectual foresight, they buy into it.
Yes.
Well, see, those are the ones that we need to market to if they are FBA.
No,
right?
those are the ones who need to be left by the wayside. I do not have time
Well, it's
to
so many
drag
of
you
them.
along.
We gotta
No, hear
educate.
me out. I need you to be in the field of battle. When you decide to play ninja games, you are not helping me. You are hurting me.
Hey, you guys,
That means you are not on my side.
Wait a minute,
And
Too
I
Much is saying
cannot take the
something.
time to try and turn you and fight him and deal with what I'm dealing with over here.
All right.
What I'm going to do is let you go while I deal with this over here. And while I'm dealing with this over here, I'm moving 50 yards downfield. I'm moving
Wait a
100
minute,
yards
cousin. Too Much is
downfield.
saying something.
No, what I'm saying is, I think I'm going to restart the live. This is, I think they're shadow banning me a little bit. I think I need to restart the live and refresh it. I'm gonna bring everybody back up on the panel.
Okay.
Just come back. I'm gonna restart the live.
And where's Wolfie?
She dropped out. She at work, baby. You know she at work.
Oh, she's working. Okay.
Wolfie, if you're still in the panel, I'm gonna restart the live. Just rejoin the panel. Just rejoin the chat again. Everybody in the chat, I'm just gonna restart the live, and we're gonna restart again. And I'm gonna bring everybody on the panel right back up. Okay.
Okay.
All right. See you guys in a minute.
All right.